The Vickers Vimy was the RAF's most famous heavy bomber during its early years. But it became famous around the world, not because it was used in battle, but because by British aviators John Alcock and Arthur Brown made the first non-stop transatlantic flight in June 1919. By doing this, it marked the beginning of a new era in which aviation would make the world smaller. After a German bomber attacked London in July 1917, the British decided it needed its own heavy bomber and gave contracts to Handley Page and Vickers. They designing a large, twin-engine biplane bomber. The resulting Vickers FB-27 Vimy, named after the Battle of Vimy Ridge. It was designed to accommodate a 3 to 4 man crew. In addition to the pilot's cockpit, which was positioned just ahead of the wings, there were 2 separate cockpits for the gunners, who were each provided with Scarfring-mounted Lewis guns located behind the wings, and in the nose of the aircraft, Vimy also be armed with a pair of torpedoes and high-altitude drift Mk-1 a bomb sight. The first Vickers FB-27 was powered by Hispano-Suiza engines. During its official tests, it made a big splash by carrying more weight than its main rival, the Handley Page 0/400, which had almost twice as much power. Because of problems with the Vimy's engine, it had to be taken back to Joyce Green earlier than planned. After that, a number of different power plants were tried. In total, 4 prototypes with different engines were built and tested. Rolls-Royce Eagle 8 engines were used in the FB-27A Vimy II that was put into production. On March 26, 1918, the first order for 150 planes was placed, and by the end of the year, 13 had been made. So, it was too late for the type to be used in World War I. During the war, contracts were made for more than 1,000 planes. After the ceasefire agreement, this number was cut in half. Due to canceled orders and planes that weren't finished, no one knows for sure how many were delivered, but it seems to be more than 200. After the war ended, the RAF quickly got smaller, which slowed the introduction of the Vimy and meant that it didn't go into full service until July 1919 when No. 58 Squadron in Egypt started using it. The RAF's main heavy bomber force was built around the Vimy. It was a frontline bomber in the Middle East and the UK from 1919 until 1925, when the newer Vickers Virginia took its place. After the war, when it flew long distances and broke records, it really showed what it could do and became famous for that. Captain John Alcock and Lieutenant Arthur Brown were the first people to fly from Newfoundland to County Galway, Ireland, without stopping on June 14 and 15, 1919.